Hi.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Yeah. That's what I got for you. Do you want
Well,
to talk about season 2?
I guess we could talk about it. I don't know. We're not going to include anything we just talked about. Our listeners will never know about this private conversation.
Dot, 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 dot. Ha, ha,
Basically,
ha.
it's slim pickings out there for the single ones, and I feel your pain. I'm very sorry. And yeah,
Yeah. We're
we
very
are
lucky.
very lucky in some ways. Other ways, oh, the fantasy of just living in a house in the woods with a couple of dogs is okay too.
I mean, I would add cats, but yeah, sure.
I would have dogs and I would have a little cabin in the woods. I just have this fantasy, like I've had it since I was a kid, walking around with like just an extra large sort of sleep shirt and wool socks with my hair up in a bun. And I'm having coffee and I'm in the middle of nature with my dogs and it just feels like so nice. Maybe one day I'll have a house like that, eh?
Oh, you will for sure. That sounds like a dream.
I
I would
kind
love
of
to
do.
retire,
I kind of already have that though, right? So,
well, in New Brunswick and Planitza,
too many
kind of.
people. It's too peoply.
So there's a lot of people at Planitza. Unless you're in Dome 1. That's where all the old people are. So there's
Yeah, they're
never
all
anyone
dying off slowly,
there. Basically.
leaving
Ooh.
their rooms to their children and grandchildren. Wow.
And everyone else is like, please give me a room. Your kid doesn't even come up ever.
Shall we welcome all our listeners into this special episode of Squidcast? I'm Kelly.
Yes. I'm Brittany.
And today we are doing something a little different. We are going to be having a little fun discussing Bones season 2. So we're going to sort of talk about season 2, our thoughts, our feelings, our prayers about season 2. And we're going to, talk about our favorite things, our least favorite things. And we're going to also play a couple of games, which I'm so excited about the games.
I am so excited. It's going to be great.
Brittany is not excited because the last time I made her play a game, she barely got any of the questions right. But it was,
I'm like Dory from
No.
Finding Nemo.
It was so funny. I thought it was so funny. I gave you such a hard
Zach's
time.
last name is Addie. Addie. I will never forget it again.
What's Cam's last name, though?
Soroyan.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Yeah. How do you spell Boreanaz?
Okay, that's where we draw the line.
Okay, stop it. Stop it. Is it his mother or father that's part Slovenian?
It's his mother.
Oh,
I think.
You're paying attention, are you?
I've been studying.
I guess so. You are really prepared. This is so funny. Anyway, I guess we're just going to talk about season 2. We have some things like both Brittany and I have been working on lists of our favorite things or our impressions about certain subjects. We have not shared any of this stuff yet. This is going to be our first time sharing. So we're going to maybe agree on some stuff and probably disagree on some things. So that'll be the fun part.
A couple things.
That'll be the fun parts.
Maybe.
I think it's funny when it's better. It sparks good discussion, You don't agree about something.
Oh, for sure.
Especially these subjects. Holy. So,
yeah, we have some good ones.
Yeah, we do.
Do you want to get started?
Yeah, let's get. So I'm just going to throw this out there to you. What's your general feeling or synopsis about season 2? What are your feelings?
I thought overall it was entertaining, but it was not my favorite season of Bones, I would say. Oh, a candle. The ambiance. Sorry. Kelly lit a candle. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an important season. We got introduced to a lot of cool characters. I really love Cam, which is a lot different than when we talked about her at the very beginning when we were first introduced to her.
Mhm.
I love the way that they are developing Ronan and Booth's relationship.
Mhm.
I could have done without the Sully storyline. Honestly, I am a lifelong fan of Bones, and I had forgotten that relationship existed. And I love, which is the opposite of you, and I'm so sorry, how they have developed the Hodgins and Angela relationship and made them into great, actually very fun, interesting characters. So
it's important that you can hear me barfing right now.
there's lots of cool stuff to unpack, lots of great season. It's a great season overall, I would say. But individually, there were some bombs of episodes. They were not good. But overall, if you look at the big picture, it was good. How about you? How do you feel?
I don't think it was a great season. I think most of the episodes were duds. And I mean,
the disagreements start already.
I'm just like, I was looking, no, but when I was going through all this stuff, I was realizing how many of the episodes were absolutely like head scratchers. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Okay. I love obviously Booth and Brennan. Like the evolution, I just feel like it shouldn't have started the way it did in season 2. Like the way it started was just so antagonistic and all this stuff. I didn't think it should have started like that personally. I think they should have just gone right into the way they were and at the end of season 1 and then maybe create that conflict when Sully came along like they did. It would seem more realistic, you know what I mean? To me, anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless,
it was a bit of a jump.
It was like it took a while for them to get back in the groove. And when they did, it was amazing. You know how I feel about Hodges and Angela. We're going to talk about it some more. I'm never going to stop talking about the sham that is this relationship. The sham, scam, fram, flim, flam of this fucking relationship. I just cannot abide.
I love it.
I will not abide. Regardless, I loved obviously Cam is one of my heroes. I think she's phenomenal. The Tamara Taylor, the actress, is so, obviously, objectively beautiful, but she's also like really funny and smart, and I think she's like a great addition. As much as I miss Dr. Goodman, Cam has added a different obvious like dynamic and chemistry, and here's hoping that she gets to have a relationship at some point. I think it'd be great.
Yeah. I think the addition of her character is really good. This actress is phenomenal. Yeah. She does such a good job with the character.
Do you know she's in Serenity, right?
No.
Serenity is the movie that's based on Firefly, and I watch that movie every time I go to New Brunswick. I have the DVD. I have hundreds of DVDs down there that I watch. Like, I love watching movies. And Serenity is one that I watch over and over and over again. Like, when you don't know what to watch, you put something on that it's comforting and like familiar and fun. And she is like in the very beginning of the movie, she's part of like, I don't know, it's like a flashback to when River is in school and she's like a teacher for River, the character when she's a child. Anyway, I was like, oh my God, look, it's Cam.
What? Yeah. Did you notice that it was her before?
No, because I never watched Bones before. So, no, it's wonderful. Wonderful. She's so great.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I see her every now and then in different stuff, like it's pretty cool.
I don't know if I've ever seen her in anything else.
What?
It would be cool to see all these actors. Yeah.
She's been in so many things. Let me look at her IMDb just because we look at everybody else's IMDb. And then we're going to move forward to the big fat topic. I think that's going to take us a bit of time. And I'm excited
I
to
don't
hear
know.
what you have to say
I'm
about
set in
this.
stone. I have a list.
Okay, well, let's just start then. The next subject we're going to discuss is ranking the relationships. Any relationship at all on the show. I want you to give me, how many did you come up with and what were your rankings? I want you to just
Why did
go
I
through
not
the
put
list.
numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11.
Ooh, I've got 12. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
I wonder if we have similar people.
Yeah, so I think they're
So number one, obviously.
number one.
Obviously.
Yes.
Booth and Brennan is obviously number one.
Number two.
Are we in agreement?
Yes. 100%.
Booth and Caroline. Booth and Caroline.
Oh,
I am obsessed with that relationship. I love their friendship.
Aww.
I love everything about it. I love the way she calls him Cherie.
I know you love
and
it.
the way he pushes back with her. I love their friendship so much. Who was your number two?
I didn't even think of Caroline. I feel terrible. That's bad. Wow, that's a good one.
No.
My second one is Booth and Gordon.
I didn't even put him. There we go. We have completely different ones that don't overlap at all. Perfect. Okay. Number 3, Zach and Hodgins.
Okay.
Until the last episode.
Okay.
That's where we cut off. What's your number 3?
Cam and Booth.
That's my number 5.
Ooh, well, I have a Zach and Hodgins too, but they're further down the list.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What's
number 4? I put my number 4 is not going to be the same as yours.
No. What is it?
Do you want to know?
I think I know what it is, but what is it?
You're going to hang up on me. Hodgins and Angela.
They're way
Did
down
you even
on the
have
list.
them on your list?
They're down on the bottom of my list. Because I have to acknowledge
Who's
that
your
they're
number
in a
4?
relationship. Rebecca and Booth.
Okay. I put them as number 6.
Ooh.
They have a great co-parenting relationship, and I love that.
Especially because they don't have anything on
Sick.
paper. It's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That was number 4. Now, I should have numbered these. I just have them as bullet points. Cam and Booth is my number 5, as I said. Who's your number 5?
Cam and Brennan.
Oh, I didn't put that on the list.
Yes, I'm talking about any relationship, right? Like any friendship.
Oh, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, wait. Yes. No, never mind. Cam and Brennan is my number 3, 6, 8.
Okay.
Cam and Brennan is number 8. Sorry, I forgot. Okay. Why are there not numbers? Why did I leave these as bullet points? This is not helpful.
Don't know, Brittany. Mine are all numbered. Everything on my list is numbered.
I'm like trying to count down the list. Okay.
6.
Booth and Rebecca, I put as 6.
I put Zach
but
and
you
Hodgins.
had a different 6.
I had Zach and Hodgins as 6.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Here's where it gets
so
crazy.
our top 6 was pretty similar.
Yes, but here's where it goes crazy. So what's number 7 for you?
Brennan and Sully.
Oh! They're further down the list for me, honestly. I have Howard, Epps, and Brennan. And I have an honorable mention as well, but go on.
Okay. I didn't have Epson. I'm so curious. I did not put Epps and Brennan on here. I put Cam and Brennan was my next one, which you already knew.
Yeah.
And then Epps and Caroline is my next one.
Oh, really? So wait a minute. What number is that? 7 or 8?
That would be number. So why are these not numbered? 3, 6, 9. That's number 9.
How is that number 9? What was your number? 7 was
my number. Sorry,
Sully
3, 6. Brennan and Sully.
What was your 8?
Then Cam and Brennan.
Cam and Brennan was 8. I have Howard,
then
Epps,
9
and Caroline.
is Epps and Caroline.
I have Howard, Epps, and
as your
Caroline as my 8.
Okay.
And then Howard.
Okay, we're not that far
then
off.
Howard,
actually.
Epps, and Booth as 9. So I have Howard Epps
Okay.
as having relationships with 4 people, actually.
What? Okay. You should take over at this point because
Number
I
10.
think one of them on my list deserves to be said by you because you came up with it and I think it's hilarious.
Oh, really?
About Larry.
Oh, God. I did that as an honorable mention because I have Howard Epps and his mother as relationship number 10. And 11 and 12. So 11 is Brennan and Sully, and 12 is Hodgins and Angela. So they're like lower on the list because I don't like those relationships. So it starts with like my favorite relationships and goes to the worst.
Yes.
But
my worst one.
Okay. What's your worst one?
Sorry. Even after your honorable mention, I put it lower than that, is Max Keenan and Brennan.
Oh, sick burn, Brittany. Wow.
Yes.
This is from a real
even lower than
girl
Larry
over here. Wow. No, my honorable mention was actually Oliver Laurier. I had completely forgotten about Larry and his wives, but I remembered Oliver Laurier and Brennan because he was that fan who was like obsessed with her in season 1, and he came back in season 2 and fainted, and I love that guy. I love him.
He's my favorite guest star.
Yes, he's on. Anyway, don't get ahead of ourselves, but
I'm sorry.
Definitely up there as one of my season favorites for sure. All right.
So the other honorable mention, which Kelly came up with earlier, but it was not included in our list, is Larry and his 2 wives and his girlfriend.
From
great relationship.
Truth and the Lie. Truth and the Lie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was funny.
Anyway.
I said that as a joke.
I put it in there, and then I put Max specifically below.
I can't believe that you did that. I didn't even put him on the list at all. Wow. I was not thinking. I was so heavily obsessed with Howard Epps that I was just thinking about him the whole time and didn't even think of Max.
Him and his mother and Brennan
and Booth and his wife.
And his wife. Oh, R.I.P. to his wife.
R.I.P.
Oh my god.
Okay, what do we got next, Brittany?
Episode had the best skeleton. But it's so obvious. If we don't have the same one, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh, this is fun. I have 3.
Oh, I just put 1.
But I have one in particular. I have one in particular.
There's one.
Number 1. Tell me what it is.
What is yours?
No, you tell me.
It's obviously the glowing bones in the old stone house.
No.
They're glowing bones.
No.
They're glowing.
That was my 3rd skeleton.
No. What's your first? No.
Girl in Suite 2103. The one in the chandelier.
Oh, up in the chandelier. Okay, yeah, okay. That's good, but I stand by my choice
she's on the
of
list.
the glowing bones.
I also had the boneless.
Who was your number 2?
Boneless Bride in the River.
I was gonna actually write that down, but then I was like, but she had no bones when they found her.
You're right.
Does that count?
But that episode was so funny because they were like bones, and it was funny.
Yeah. I have a favorite guest star from that episode as well. Anyway.
Shh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay. Our next thing.
What's next?
Is, okay, I wrote down, I don't know how best to say this, but I wanted to know your best or favorite, not favorite, but the best deaths.
Okay, so I misunderstood this question. And I put like what the best way to die would be out of all the victims.
I love it.
And I was thinking that the most the least painful one would be being poisoned by my mother's AIDS medication. I feel like because you would just fall into a trance and just slip away.
Look at the stars.
It would be painless.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Stargazer in episode 21.
You are brave. Brave.
That was a terrible season finale, but that's, yes. I think maybe being poisoned
by
would be
old medication.
Old medication. Yeah. That was my number one. What's yours? Okay.
I have 4. It had nothing to do with
what are your 4?
The easiest way to go. It was the most like kind of sensational, like wild ways to die. Okay. I wrote down Truth and the Lie. Larry, who was all gloopy in the tub. Number 2 was Girl in the Gator, because she was eaten by an alligator eventually after whatever. Judas on a pole was horrific because the people got
absolutely horrific,
gutted and lit on fire. And then number 4 was Caroline Epps' head in the fridge in Man in the Cell.
Oh my God.
We may have to cut this whole thing.
R.I.P. Caroline.
Listen. So sad. Poor Caroline.
Poor Caroline.
All right.
She was just trying to get away, trying to live with her new boyfriend.
Gary.
Enjoy life. I don't know how someone goes from being married to a serial killer and choosing to, like, he didn't start serial killing before she met him.
No.
Like, he was doing it and convicted when they met.
And how does that guy she's dating not know who the fuck she is?
Yeah. No. This is why you do a little background check.
Like, they always post pictures of women that marry prisoners. Like, they would always, that's a huge case. It'd be like, Howard Epps gets married. Like, it would be in the papers.
It'd be everywhere.
For sure.
CP24 for sure.
At least on the bottom.
Our local Toronto. Yes. Howard Epps gets married.
Local serial killer gets married.
If you want to see pictures, go online.
Okay, what do we got?
Okay, the grossest scene I think is a slam dunk. You've actually already mentioned it.
Yeah.
Definitely the body dissolved in a bathtub.
Yes.
In Truth and the Lie. That is disgusting.
Larry the electrician Gloop. I called him Gloop a lot, I think. So ding ding ding. Brittany and I agree.
It is mark this time down.
I also wrote down the Judas on a pole burning bodies thing. I thought was pretty gross.
Oh yeah.
And honorable mention is the killer on the concrete where he was buried alive in the concrete. It's like horrific. That's what
Mark's was. I was going through this with Mark and he was like, the guy that had the concrete down his throat.
Oh my God.
Like he was literally buried alive.
We should put that with
I forgot about that.
That should be with the best mode of death.
Maybe.
Most sensational or most grossest way to die. Yeah, exactly.
Not the least painful way. Anyway, the scariest / creepiest episode I think is also obvious.
Is that what's next? Yes.
I think so.
I don't know though. Let's see, because I think you and I have different ideas about this. I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
You're going to say Headless Witch in the Woods.
Yes. That's not what you're choosing? It's like literally Blair Witch Project. The way that the killer justifies killing his brother was so creepy.
That was so crazy.
Oh my God.
That was just.
What do you think is the scariest / creepiest?
I think it's pretty scary to be buried alive in a park.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought the Man in the Cell was kind of like scary / creepy because like of how much like Cam almost died in that one. And Zach almost died.
Howard Epps was really creepy.
He was like a really wildly creepy. Yeah, he was a wild serial killer guy. It was nasty.
Yeah.
Those are my choices. Because I knew you would say Headless Witch in the Woods. But you know how much I laughed at that episode. I thought it was so funny.
And I was like, this is terrifying. I'm never going to sleep again. And you were like, this was hilarious. What a good thigh slapper.
The scene with the girl in the
Oh my God.
psychological hospital, I laughed so much. You were all weird.
Do make me relive this.
You were so scared of that. I was laughing so much.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm not sleeping tonight again, I guess.
Okay, what's your funniest episode?
Funniest episode?
Did I put that in
I
there?
did not do a funniest episode.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can think of it though. Let me think. No, it's okay. Let me think.
Okay.
Funniest episode.
If you don't know the name, just describe the plot.
List.
I have two.
I'm trying to think.
This is an afterthought. I guess I didn't share this.
The Woman in the Sand.
Yes, we agree.
I think is pretty funny.
We agree.
Yes. That was a great episode.
What? I was thinking about like some of these ones that we forgot about. I was like, that was actually pretty good. Like it was pretty funny. And then I thought Boneless Bride in the River was kind of funny too. Like a lot of it was
unintentionally
pretty funny. Like the guy Daniel who was like the Asian weaponry parkour dude made me laugh.
Yeah.
And what else was there? The Chinese lady who had the bones on her mantle and the way that Brendan spoke Chinese to her. It was really funny.
And they were like, you speak Chinese?
Speak Chinese?
Oh,
just that whole thing was funny.
It's not the episode itself was not funny, but there were the fact that the man in the mansion.
Oh my God.
Was hilarious because they kept showing these pictures of Hodgins.
Oh my God.
And like none of them were actually Hodgins.
It was so bad. And that whole thing where the woman was still in the house where there was that disgusting crime scene and I was talking about all the flies. I was like, there's like dead person detritus here. Like, why are you living in this house?
And she's so rich. She could easily go and like rent an Airbnb and be perfectly fine.
Go to a hotel.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No. Okay. I have next on my list, I have favorite guest stars. Do you want to talk favorite guest stars?
Yes.
I have 5.
Okay. I have 6 plus an honorable mention.
I have a feeling a lot of ours overlap. Maybe.
I think so too.
I already mentioned Oliver Laurier.
I'm going to just...
Actor's name is Chris Connor.
Right. So I'm just going to go through my list quick and then you
Yes. Can... Okay. You go through and let's see if they match.
Number 1. Heath Freeman as Howard Epps. It's my favorite.
Yes. Ditto.
Number 2. This is not going to be the same as yours. His name is Ray Weiss, and he played the fixer in Titan on the Tracks. Because
not on my list.
I liked that actor. 3.
Okay.
Nelson Lee, who played Agent Zhang in Woman in the Sand.
Okay. Also not on my list.
Number 4, there were several in this one episode, including Chris Connor, who played Oliver Laurier, but the guy who played Hank, the assistant, his name is Dolenc-Stajan. The woman who played the publicist, Ellen, I loved her. I thought she was amazing. She was so funny the way she walked in and told Brennan to quit her job all the time just because she had a successful book. And as I said, Chris Connor as Oliver Laurier was pièce de résistance. He was amazing. 5.
Yeah.
Michael Paul Chan, who played Professor Shi John Chen in Boneless Bride in the River.
Yeah.
And number 6 was AJ Buckley from Glowing Bones in the Old Stone House. Now, I have an honorable mention.
Okay, who's your honorable mention?
Eric Stone Street.
Yes.
He showed up twice.
He's on my list.
Did you see him? Twice.
He did.
We didn't mention him. We didn't mention him.
He was in the finale.
We didn't mention him at all in the finale, but he was in the finale as well.
What?
And I looked it up. Modern Family started 2 years after this season aired.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't on Modern Family yet.
I didn't realize that. So he wasn't famous yet, basically. That's wild. Yeah, he was in 2 episodes. He was in Boneless Bride in the River and the finale.
Yes. So he was a working actor that would go on strike right now because he wasn't getting enough fucking money to survive.
Yeah, that's so crazy right now. What's going on?
So wild.
Honestly, good for them.
You know what? It was
good for them for striking.
Have you seen Leslie Jones? You know who she is from Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
She's online talking about the strike because people are giving her the gears about it, like how, oh, you're a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, but it took me like 47 years to like get to this place. I worked my ass off to get here. A, B, most people don't make it. Most people are just working and barely getting by and getting screwed over. And she said everyone in the world should be angry, not just actors and writers, but everyone should be mad because we're getting fleeced. We're getting fleeced by these huge corporations. And it's ridiculous that people aren't more in solidarity, standing in solidarity with people in these situations.
Yeah. It's nice to see the big name actors actually. I've seen a couple. Simu Liu also said that he was striking with them and was explaining why. Yeah. It's good to see them standing up as well. I'm also, okay. I only had 2 overlapping.
Okay.
My 2 overlapping were Howard Epps and Eric Stonestreet.
Right.
He was just like a DC cop, so he didn't have I can't call him by his character name.
That's Mandy Patinkin. You know who Mandy Patinkin is?
Yeah.
Princess Bride. You killed residuals.
Yeah. Residuals. Prepare to pay. Yes. So my other 3, in case you wanted to know,
I do,
are Dr. Gordon Wyatt.
Oh my God.
He was in 3 episodes.
I can't believe. You know what? I felt he was a series regular. I didn't think he was a guest star, you know?
And the other person who is technically, she's not a series regular yet at this point. She was just a guest star, is Caroline Julian. I added her as well, Patricia Belcher.
Oh,
and we already talked about Oliver Laurier. So I guess 3 out of 5 were matching.
Oh, man. But then Caroline's husband, who was played by Eddie Hudson from friggin' Ghostbusters.
He would be a good one to add.
He would be great to add as a guest star. But yeah, I didn't include Gordon or Caroline because they were regulars. So I didn't think to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, they were each on 3 episodes.
Excuse me.
Which actually, so they were on 3 episodes. I did not include Sully on my list, but he was only in 4 episodes.
Sully?
They were back to back, but he was only in 4. Yeah, he was only in 4 episodes.
Wow.
Which is crazy. But
I know.
Anyway, want to play a game? Do you want to play a game?
Would you like to play a game? All right. This is a game that I set up that you will not succeed at.
Setting me up for failure.
Not because you can't succeed, but because no one would succeed at this. It was just hilarious. It's a multiple choice. It's multiple choice questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
So it's a crapshoot. You could pick one of 3 of each of these. Okay.
Okay.
I have six questions. Okay.
Okay. Let's do it.
Let's do it. First question. How many victims are there of blunt force trauma in this season? Is it A?
Okay.
3. B? 5. Or C? 2.
C. 2.
I don't know
who are our victims.
I don't know if you can hear.
I can't hear you clapping, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Clap, clap, clap,
Oh,
clap,
I
clap.
didn't write down.
Whistle, whistle.
I didn't write down the victims. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
I know Larry was one of them because he fell backwards on the light box, the electrical thing. Remember? Before he went all gloopy. Okay.
Yeah. Poor Larry, but also not Larry. He did his wife's dirt. Carry
My
on.
guy, the 35-year-old man that looked 50. Anyway, question number 2. It's a multiple choice. And the question is, how many children were subjects of investigation in this season?
Ugh.
Is it A, 6, B, 4, or C, 2?
Okay. Mother and child in the bay. Then the one in the last episode. What are my options again? What are the numbers? 4. I'm going to go with 4.
Your answer is B, 4. Is that correct? Is that your final answer?
4. That's my final answer. Okay. There's mother and child in the bay. The boy in the shroud.
Yes. Oh, good. You considered him a child.
He's a teenager, but he still counts.
A child.
Okay.
Yes.
The girl with the curl.
Yes.
And then the last lady who was old, but she was young. The stargazer.
Technically, you're right. I should have only been 3.
No, she was.
Right?
But she's technically.
Like,
she was over. How old was she?
She wasn't 20 something, was she?
I can't remember. She was a child.
Who cares?
We're going with a child.
You and I both got it wrong, and we got it right. There you go.
There we go. Done.
Okay, now we get into the fun stuff. Ready? Multiple choice.
Okay, ready.
Question. How many times is Dr. Gordon Wyatt referred to as Gordon Gordon? Either by himself or another character. Is it A, 3, B, 6, or C, 10?
10. Final answer. C.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer. 10. Wonk, 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 wonk.
The answer is B, 6 times. 6 times.
I should have gone with 6. Okay, I'm 2 for 3.
Okay, next question. Are you ready? You're doing really well. You're doing really well.
I'm ready.
How many times does Cam say, "How am I doing?" in the first episode of season 2?
Okay, I'm ready.
Is it A, 4, B, 2, or C, 1?
2. Final answer.
Yeah!
Yay!
You are so killing it. You love.
If you said 3,
choice.
if you gave 3 as an option,
you might have said 3.
I probably would have gone for that. If 4 seemed like too many, and 1 seemed like too little.
All right, you ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready.
You're winning.
Drum roll, please.
You're winning. You're winning. You only got 1 wrong so far. It's excellent. Okay.
Not bad.
Excellent.
I'm doing much better with multiple choice.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Yeah. Okay.
How many times does Angela call Brennan sweetie? Is it A?
Great question.
3 times. Is it B, once? Or is it C, 5 times?
This feels like a trick question. 3. Final answer. I wanted to say 5, but I was like, it sounds like too much.
She said it a lot in season 1.
Yeah, a ton. Way less in season 2. That's why she was more palatable.
Yeah, precisely. Okay, last question.
Okay, last question.
Batting 1,000 here. You're doing great. Okay,
thank you.
last question. How many times? Don't you love like everything's like how many times? I was gonna do like how long.
I love it.
How long, did Booth hold his sugar over his coffee? Like that kind of stuff. But anyway, how many times does Booth say simmer down in season 2?
Oh.
Is it A, once? Is it B, 3 times? Or is it C, 6 times? 6 times.
A. One. Final answer.
Wah, 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 wah. The answer is B, 3 times, 3 times, 3
Really?
times.
I don't remember him saying
I
that at
know, he didn't
all.
say it as much as he did last season. Unfortunately.
That's so funny.
I love it when he says that. That's why I say it all
That's
the time.
awesome.
All right.
That was a great
That was
quiz.
my quiz.
I love it.
I hope that it was fun for you.
It was very
It
fun.
was so silly.
I liked it.
Oh my God. Okay. We have more things to discuss about season 2. So now the next thing we're going to cover is, what are we doing?
What was the best directed episode or / your favorite director? Is if they directed more than one episode.
Oh, okay.
I have a clear favorite.
How many do you have?
I have one.
Oh.
And he directed 2 episodes.
Oh. I have 3.
Yeah. I wonder if ours... Okay, you go. I wonder if ours overlap.
No, they don't. I'm going to say that right now.
Okay.
Number 1, David Duchovny, Judas on a Pole.
We're going to talk about that later. Carry on.
Number 2, Caleb Deschanel, The Glowing Bones in the Old Stone House.
Okay.
Number 3, Kate Woods, Woman in the Sand.
Interesting.
Yes. What are yours?
They did not. Yeah, we did not overlap.
No, let me hear yours.
Mine is Craig Ross Jr.
Oh,
he directed Aliens in a Spaceship and Bodies in the Book.
Of course.
He was my fave.
Yes, he was amazing.
I thought he nailed both of those episodes. Those are my top 2. They're great.
Mine are totally novel. Anyway. They're all novel.
No, they're great.
We're not allowed to talk
but
about
except
it?
We're going to talk about the David Duchovny.
Why do you call him
talk.
David Duchovny? It's David Duchovny.
Duchovny. Okay, whatever his name is, I didn't like that episode. That famous guy from X-Files, whatever his name is.
It was the way David Boreanaz was directed by David Duchovny that was the most telling. It was interesting, how he directed him.
Yeah,
I thought. I don't know what we're going to talk about later, so I'm just going to let it go, and then we'll talk about it later.
We're going to talk about it later.
Okay, next on the list.
Well, because...
what?
No, I can't say anything, otherwise it will spoil it. Okay, anyway. Okay, right. Okay. What was the cringiest Angela and Hodgins moment for you?
When he cornered her to ask her out on a date.
That was your worst? It wasn't the fact that for me, it was in the season finale, hands down. Yeah? When they find out that they can't get married because she's already married. I'm like, this is brutal.
Insane.
What kind of relationship do you have that you don't know that about someone else?
You think
the close second was when Angela turned down Hodgins' proposal in that restaurant and was like, it just, I gotta get the right feeling. I was like, oh, Hodgins, you thing.
So
anyway,
any others?
Yeah, why did we not talk about the Egyptian,
the Cleopatra bed
sexcapade
in the basement, or the fact they had sex in the supply closet, or when he smelled her hair, or
we really left this so for our listeners. Kelly came up with most of the questions tonight, but this was one that I came up with, and I have regrets because Kelly has way more than one moment.
What do you think? As if I'm not going to think of all this shit, or the fact that he cornered her to ask her on a date, and then when he took her on a date, he cornered her and forced her to kiss him because she had nowhere else to go. And he cornered and beat her down until she finally gave in and accepted his proposal with glow in the dark seafood.
I'm creating a monster.
It's just the whole thing is bad. I need to talk to TJ Tyne. I need to know.
Oh my God.
Why?
Okay, so do you want to talk about an actual good relationship then? We could talk about Booth and Bones.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the scene with the most sexual tension between them?
I have three.
I have two.
I'm going to tell you what they are.
I have a feeling ours are going to overlap.
I'll tell you.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. Number one was in Judas on a Pole.
Yes.
They're standing in front of the royal diner and he places his finger underneath her chin when she's like, oh, maybe I'm just one of those people that doesn't get to be in a family. And he's like, listen, Bones, there's more than one kind of family. Let's kiss, but not kiss because we shouldn't kiss. I added that last part.
Wow, Brittany.
And then a nice follow-up to that. So that was episode 11. And then 10 episodes later in the glowing old stone house, even though it's like a nice, cute, like friendship moment, it's also like, in my opinion, a little sexual tension moment when they're eating dinner together at her apartment.
Oh, yeah.
She specifically made him mac and cheese. Very family-ish.
Yes.
Those are my two moments. What are yours?
Judas on a pole, when he touches her chin, it's like he's going to mac down on her face when he does that. Like when he touched her chin, I was like, I could feel it. Like I could feel it like all the way through my bones. Seriously.
I'm gonna cry. I'm laughing so hard.
Like it's hot, right? And then
it was a moment.
I have a question for you now. Headless Witch in the Woods. When Booth has to arrest the crazy girl she's having dinner with because he cut his brother's head off with a fucking hacksaw or an axe or whatever. She's in her office. She's lamenting over the fact that she's just going to be alone forever, right? And he tells her to give him a hug. And she's like, oh, no, we can't, blah, blah, blah. This is when I was watching them hug again, because I've seen this hug a few times. I was like, because the Las Vegas episode happened before the Headless Witch in the Woods episode. And I thought, like, what if they slept together in Las Vegas? And now they're trying to establish boundaries again. So she was like, because he was acting weird when she was going to go for coffee with the guy. And then she kind of said, we're partners, we're work partners. We have we're not intimate friends, like that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going to take away the question that I had for you in my quiz.
Oh, okay.
You were going to tell me who said, hey, you're my partner. It's a guy hug. Take it.
Yeah. A guy hug.
Delete.
But it wasn't a guy hug because his face.
It was definitely not a guy hug.
His face at the end of that. Like I think I put a video of it on our Instagram. Because he was so.
It was actually such a sweet moment. Just, like he cared so much about her.
Sunk into each other. It was like, oh my God. And the third one, the third one. You're right. The mac and cheese one was good. Wasn't sexy, but it was like nice and friends. Like it was nice. The very last episode, the finale, where he tells her, looks her in the eye across the table at the Royal and says, you're not a bad anything. Like he tells her, because she is saying how she's a bad daughter, she's not a good person. He's like, no. You're not bad anything. And I was just like, oh,
so nice.
So those are my three.
There's also a scene, and I can't remember which episode it's in, where he looks at her and he's like, I think it was in A Girl with the Curl, because she was like, I don't understand why people feel the need to dress themselves like this or whatever. And he's like, well, if like a woman looks like you, basically saying like you're hot, and she's like, oh yeah, you have a nice face too.
Or the one where, was that the same one where Cam walked out of the lab and he was going to go chase after her, but then he decided to stay?
Yes.
And have Thai food?
He was like, oh, I have an appointment or something. And she was like, oh, what about your appointment? He was like, oh no, it's fine.
So they had Thai food and they were talking really close at each other, like,
yeah,
oh, don't eat all the shrimp, blah, blah, blah. Like they were being
really exactly weird. Yeah.
They were eating donuts together. They had a great time at the beauty pageant and they were having so much fun hanging out. Oh.
That they just wanted to keep it going. And I'm so excited for season 3. We'll see where this relationship goes.
I'm interested.
Time will tell. But Max Keenan. Should Max Keenan stay or should he go?
God.
Should he stay or should he go now?
Well, I turned on him at the end, right?
Yeah.
I really turned on Max. I thought he was a deadbeat dad. Seriously, like, why couldn't he send money to some account and, like, I don't know, brutal. She had to live in a foster home.
I have a perspective on him that's like, I like him as a character because I think he creates an interesting dynamic between Booth and Brennan. Yeah. Like, he's a good character.
I agree.
But if I had a friend in real life that had a dad like this, I would be like, get the hell away from him. Stop talking to him. Why are you interacting with him? Like, not a good person for Brennan, but as like a character, a tool for her character development. Great tool.
Well, the issue is that Max just shows up whenever Max wants to show up. Like, it's not like Brennan has control over even when he shows up at her fucking house. So
no,
it's a very destabilizing kind of like, it's not a good dynamic between, at the end of the day, I'm just very not into this whole Max situation. Now that he's in jail, I assume.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Because he got arrested at the end of the season.
Yeah. In that hilarious fight that I should have really put a video of because it was funny as hell. But anyway. Can I still do that? Yeah, I can. I can still do that. Okay. That fight was so funny to me. Anyway, should he stay or should he go? He can't go. I mean, we're not done with him yet, right? Like his storyline is still very much alive. He's just in jail. Are we going to see maybe I can imagine, and don't tell me what happens, but I feel like the FBI will use him as like a consultant while he's in jail. He can be used to help them with information or help them with cases. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe he knows some guys in a particular case and he can give help to the FBI for certain things. I don't know. Like I can see him being used in that capacity. And then because Brennan knows where he is, she can visit him and do all that, you know?
Time will tell.
You're so good at not telling me.
Find
You're
out.
So funny. What do you think?
My lips are sealed. I think, as a character, he's got to stick around, obviously. I think we have not seen the last of Max Keenan. But like I said, like if this were a real life situation, like, no, this guy's got to go. This is a toxic person. Not good for Brennan. But because he's so not good for her, we're going to see what's going to happen. And it'll be interesting. Want to play a game?
Would you like to play a game?
Would you like to play a game?
Games.
I feel like these are too easy.
I love games. I love games. I play the games. I play the game.
So we're gonna play a game.
Give me a game.
I play the games.
Play the game. Tell me the game. Give me a game.
This is a game of it.
Of what? Who said it?
Who said it? I'm not gonna tell. Okay, so I did not include any dialogue from people who are not main characters.
Okay.
So you don't have to guess some random person like Oliver or even Gordon.
Okay. Even though I probably could.
So even though you could, I have no doubt. We're going to start easy. Okay.
We're going to start out nice and easy, and then we're going to go rough.
Well, then we're going to keep it pretty easy. Well, I think we'll see.
Proud Mary, keep on burning, rolling, rolling, rolling on a river.
Okay. If you lose Brennan, you lose us all.
Ruth.
Angela. Okay, this is good. I thought maybe they'd be too easy, but they're not because I'm giving you no context.
I know.
Okay, so this was in episode 3, Boy in the Shroud. And this was Angela saying it to Cam because Cam was coming at her being like, yo, this Brennan lady. Okay, number 2. My Uncle Preston wants to be buried standing up without a casket.
Hodgins!
Ding, 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 ding. So that was in episode 4, The Blonde in the Game. They were talking about how the victim was buried face down.
Okay.
I miss normal people.
Oh. Okay. I think, I'm not sure. Cam.
Booth. Because episode 7, Girl with the Curl. Brennan is saying, I miss organic chemistry class. Those were good times. And Zach is like, I miss my first microscope. And Booth is like, I miss normal people.
That's great.
Okay. Question number 4.
I'm not winning.
I don't have much in common. Pardon?
I'm not winning.
That's okay. You'll be a winner. You're always a winner. You already are a winner. My son can count to 10, but he doesn't say the number 1. So we just tell him that it's because he's number 1. He starts with 2.
Oh boy. I don't know if that's good or bad, Britt.
We're working on it. We got it. I
haven't seen on my shoulder.
Oh no, it's not a bug bite?
No, don't you hate random blemishes?
Those hurt when there's like places other than your face always hurt.
I had one here.
Okay.
Like
here
right
we go.
here last week.
Oh. Yeah, that's painful, I find.
Go on.
Okay. I don't have much in common with a 10-year-old. And although I don't know what a twit is, objectively, I am thin and do lack muscular definition.
Come on. It's obviously Zach.
It is Zach in episode 8, The Woman in the Sand. Hodgins says, what if I called you a scrawny twit who couldn't hold a conversation with a 10-year-old? And then he says that, and Hodgins is like, dude, you're a Vulcan and a dull Vulcan at that. He's trying to get him all riled up so he hit him.
Literally,
because he's never hit anyone.
I was literally just listening to our episode today of that, because I was trying to binge our episodes, like to listen, like to hear clues. But that was what I heard today. Yeah, that is funny.
We definitely talked about that because we thought it was hilarious that he was trying to force him to fight him. Okay. I don't know. Putting testicles on the outside didn't seem like such a great idea. Indeed. This is episode 9, Aliens in a Spaceship. Booth was talking about the gravedigger and saying the gravedigger is not God. Yeah. Bones, because God doesn't make mistakes. Exactly. And when Angela says that, Booth is like, yeah, okay, sure.
It's funny.
Yes, that was not Angela's a good move.
Was funny in those first few episodes. Like in Boy in a Shroud, she's like, hey guys, I want to see something cool. And then she'd be like,
oh yeah.
She was funny. Like, what was the one where she was making all those jokes and Cam got mad at her? She was making so many jokes.
I don't know. Maybe
like,
that
this
was
is a person. This is a real thing. Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." She's like, "Oh, what's up with
wasn't it the episode? It was the boneless bride episode,
No,
wasn't
I
it?
think it was the one with Larry the electrician because she was excited about the
Oh,
last meeting
yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You're 100% right. Okay. If you haven't figured out the stun gun, then I am this week's king of the lab because I found something huge.
That's Hodges. Yes.
Yes. In Aliens in the Spaceship. I wanted to have this as a question because this was our first mention of the concept of King of the Lab, which becomes a huge thing in future seasons. So very exciting. Something to look forward to.
Go ahead. I was just thought of something. Go. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
How am I doing?
Why do I always feel like you're abducting me? You're doing great.
Oh.
Why do I always feel like you're abducting me?
That's the one where Zach was getting doing his dissertation, and it's what the hell is that one where
you're nailing it. That is the right episode.
I'm just trying to remember. He's like manhandling her the whole time, and it's called. It is Judas on a Pole. I wanted to say Judas on a Pole. I did, but I wasn't sure. I thought I was wrong. It's Judas on a Pole. Don't give me hints.
Yes, you're right. Judas on a Pole. Dr. Temperance Brennan.
Yes.
It was Brennan that said, "Why do I always feel like you're abducting me?"
Sorry, it's Brennan who said
then
that.
Another person said, no, that's good. You said her. I knew what you were talking about. I read a book on body language. Apparently in our culture, when an older male lays an open fist on a younger male, it conveys approval. But if he bumps younger male with a closed fist, it conveys doubt.
Same episode, Zach.
Yeah. Okay, I could have skipped that one.
It's okay. Ask away.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh my God. That thing is huge. Whoa. Wow. That's like movie huge.
Angela, talking about Brennan's gun in Man in the Cell.
Yes. It nailed it. Yes, exactly. And then they end up talking about Ruth's penis. Anyway.
I love it.
Okay. Feminist trash. You know, women finds her power, leaves her oppressive husband, discovers freedom and fulfillment with an artist who knows how to cry, make love like an animal.
That's Cam talking about romance novels that she reads, and that one is, I can't remember the episode right now, but she's talking to Hodgins.
Yeah, talking to Hodgins in Bodies in the Book.
It was about
episode
books because she
15.
wasn't going to read Brennan's book. That's right.
Yeah, she's like, oh, am I the only one who hasn't read this book?
I have so much respect for Cam for not reading that book. I truly do.
Yeah. Everyone else is all over it.
Cam's like, meh.
Also, at the time, was she boning Booth? Because I feel like, would you want to read a book that you know is dedicated to the guy you're
Cam's
sleeping
got it
with?
figured out. She's got it figured out. She doesn't want anything to do with it.
She's got to figure it out.
Go.
Okay. I have 3 to go. Are you one of those priests who smack school children with rulers?
I
worked hard on these.
Zach in Priest in the Churchyard.
Yes, exactly. And the father's like, that's not allowed anymore. And he's like so disappointed. The Priest in the Churchyard, like you said, episode 17. Okay, 2 more to go. Pluto's no longer a planet. It was demoted.
That's Brennan in Spaceman in a Crater.
Right episode, wrong person. It was Hodgins. Hodgins was talking with Booth and talking about how a telescope was pointed up at the planet Pluto. And Hodgins is like, dude.
Yeah. He's one
Pluto's
of those assholes who says, actually, Pluto was demoted.
Pluto's not a planet. Okay, final question. This is a doozy. Okay. I would like to marry you.
Brennan.
No. Yes, you got it. Damn it.
And Stargazer in a puddle.
I thought
he tricked her.
I thought it was a trick
tricked
question.
her into saying it.
And I tried to trick you.
You didn't do.
No, I didn't. I think you nailed it. You did really well.
Well, you did well. Thank you for those questions. That was really fun.
It was a little summary of some of the most interesting moments of season 2.
When do we get to talk about
our fave?
The David Duchovny episode.
It's coming. Do you want to start with the worst episode or the best episode?
Start with worst. It's better to end on a positive note.
Okay, let's talk about the David Duchovny episode. That was my least favorite episode. I put it as the worst episode. Judas on a pole. And honestly, I think I'm biased. Like, I think I have a bit of bias here because Max Keenan comes. I know, crazy. Max Keenan comes back. I think this episode was just infuriating for me because it was so obvious.
He strolls to the cemetery. Is that the one where he walks up to Brennan?
Yeah. This is the one where he pretends. No, this is the one where he pretends to be a priest.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so obvious that it's him the whole time. And I'm like,
do something. Keep talking.
Come on.
Keep talking.
So anyway, I just was getting very frustrated by this episode. Perhaps I would not have known because I think this actually is the first time we're meeting him. So perhaps I would not have known that that's what he looks like. Are you taking your bra off right now? Kelly is trying to take her bra off and it's not working well at all. She got it. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. All good. I didn't realize this was like going to be a stripping episode at the same time.
I'm dying. Okay. Judas on a pole. How many do you have as your worst episodes?
So I only put one. Top one.
Okay.
Number one.
I have
worst
6.
episode. Top number
6.
worst. 6. Jeez, that's like more than a third of the episode, or less than a third of the episodes. More than
exactly
a quarter. Okay. Was Judas on a pole in your worst?
Yes, it's one of them. But it's 5 out of 6.
Okay.
Because of how convoluted it was, and because of the whole Max Keenan father, like how could she not know that it was her father the whole time? And also something else happened. Anyway, regardless, I didn't like that as much, but I liked it for other reasons too. My number one worst episode was Mother and Child in the Bay, because it was so depressing. I just thought this is terrible. It was so messed up.
And that was episode number 2, wasn't it? It was so messed up. You're right. That should be in the top really worst episodes. I agree.
So bad. And the second one was Man in the Mansion.
But that's only because it's a Hodgins-centered episode and you hate him.
Just the way he lied, the relationship with that woman, the weird lady that lived in the house where the dead body was, it was just like, oh my God. Anyway. And the guy with the fur coat, the muskrat collar. Anyway, I just thought it was really bad. Spaceman in a Crater. I thought was really dumb.
You didn't like that one?
They were having fun when they did the zero gravity thing, but I thought the whole thing was like, wow. Like the conclusion of it, the fact that the wife pushed him into the propellers and the guy tossed him out of an airplane. I thought it was just a really extreme way to handle the situation, like, and go to jail for it. I just thought, like, really?
Yeah.
Like, call 911.
Okay. Next.
Okay, sorry. Stargazer in a Puddle was number 4 for me.
I want to know.
I thought that was so tragic. The mother's life was a tragedy. the child's life was a
So
tragedy.
depressing.
It was just terrible. And then also because it was a finale, fucking Brennan was put through the ringer. Like the trauma. Talk about trauma. Jesus. The ring, the video, all that crap that Max just like put her through. I just thought, wow, this is terrible. Anyway, Judas on a pole.
Yeah.
And then my last episode that I didn't like was Glowing Bones in the Old Stone House, mostly because of the kitchen. Mostly because of the kitchen. I was like so mad about that kitchen.
You're like, this is not realistic.
It was dumbest kitchen.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to talk about best?
Yes.
I liked your list of worst.
How many did you have on best?
Best? Okay, I only have one, but I can talk about
Okay.
more. The best episode, and I think that maybe we're in agreement, would be Aliens in a
I think
Spaceship.
literally
Maybe?
everybody in the whole planet agrees
Yes.
that
I think it's in the top 20 of all Bones episodes
100%.
ever.
Every list you look at, that is on it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's iconic. It's amazing. It marks a huge turning point in Booth and Brennan's relationship. Introduction of the Gravedigger. Lots of things going on. Hodgins' character becomes more interesting. Why do you like it? Tell me more.
It was just
I feel like you had more to say.
Tour de force. Like TJ Tyne and Emily Deschanel did such a great job. Like they were amazing. And we were really dazzled by the science of it all, like how they managed to sort of be very pragmatic and scientific about their approach to getting out of the car. And it was just like, it was really good. It was just amazing. And I loved everybody. All the characters were great. They were all great. And
Agreed. Well,
yeah, like I said, the
we agree on
of
something.
course we do. What's another episode that you liked?
I really like the, what's it called? The book one.
Oh, really? You liked the book one?
Bodies
eh?
in the Book. I love that episode. I thought that was really cool.
I don't know.
The end of it obviously was sad because that was an episode that we really see Booth's true feelings toward Brennan, is when he sees Sully and Brennan like reconciling and kissing at the end of the episode. Then he is like walking away looking so sad. But
Did they reconcile in that one?
yeah, no, I thought it was.
Oh yeah, because he was trying to like protect her.
I think
That's
so.
right. She was incensed.
Yeah, but then the next episode, he's gone.
I didn't really like that one so much because I thought Sully was I couldn't stand him. He was so I didn't like him in that episode. So,
what's your second? How many do you have on your top?
My first one is Aliens in a Spaceship. My second one is Man in the Cell. My third one, Blonde in the Game. Fourth, Woman in the Sand. And fifth, Boneless Bride in the River. Now,
Woman in the Sand was that was a really good episode. That was such a good episode.
Bottle episode.
Yeah.
And did I talk about, I said the director of that one. I really liked how that was directed.
Yeah.
It was really interesting what she did. It was very cool. And when are we going to talk about Judas on a Pole being directed by David Duchovny?
I already did.
Well, it was directed by...
I said it was the worst episode.
Yeah, but it was directed by David Duchovny. And I agree. It was not good. The plot was convoluted. The whole Max situation was stupid. But I loved how David Duchovny made David Boreanaz so cool in that episode.
We did talk about that when we talked about the episode. We did talk about his directing choices, how the directing was pretty good, but the story was garbage.
Was absolute garbage. Now, I have one more thing to ask you. And I want to make this a regular thing every episode. But right now, I want to ask you who is the king of the lab for the whole season? For whatever reason.
For the whole
doesn't have to be
season.
necessarily A lab person. It could be your favorite character, your favorite, like, whatever, your most thing.
I have
Okay.
someone.
Who's your king of the lab?
Cam.
Okay.
King
All
of the
right.
lab. She came into this new environment. She started off, in my opinion, not great. Then she adapted and she found her way. People respect her now. She does a fantastic job. She oversees Brennan without like overstepping. Like they have a really nice dynamic now. I love that character. I think she's fantastic. I can't wait to see how her character continues to develop.
All right.
Who's your king of the lab?
This was just an off the cuff thing that I threw out there. So I didn't really think about it, but I think I agree with you. Cam should win like the King of the Lab award for the year, for the season.
Yeah.
And I want us to have one every episode. I want to have a person who's a king of the lab, and it doesn't have to be someone who's actually in the lab. And I want to say my honorable mention for King of the Lab is Heath Freeman, who played Howard Epps, because he was a great, like, what an amazing recurring sort of big bad that kept coming back. He was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sad that he's literally no longer with us. Like Heath Freeman left, he passed away, but Howard Epps also did. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I just want to have an honorable mention and a rest in peace again to our friend Heath Freeman. I hope he's having a good time wherever he is.
He died recently, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty recently. And I think that there were some issues there,
Yeah. That's really sad. I think he was pretty young. He was only like 40 when he died.
Very, very young. So I agree. That's very tragic, and we lost him too soon, for sure.
For sure.
Okay.
I think we're in total agreement about the King of the Lab.
All right. Now we're going to move forward.
Shall we? Yes.
Just going to throw this out there to our listeners. We have a listener named Kristen Maloney. She messages us on Instagram, and she is an amazingly loyal and active person who participates on Instagram. And I'm very grateful to have her on board and sharing all of her thoughts. But I need people to follow in her footsteps. I need people to get on board the Kristen Maloney train and start writing us some messages. I don't care if you tell us that you don't like the sound of my voice. I just need you to say something. Just tell me anything. I'll take it. I can handle it. So right now we have this one individual who contributed to shared her favorites with us, or their favorites with us for season 2. And do you have it? Did you bring it up on your Instagram, or do you want me to do that?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just bringing it up.
All right. I think that she and I and you are going to agree on some things. I think you and Kristen are more in line with each other in your thoughts and feelings about Hodgins and Angela, especially.
I was just about to say, because she doesn't hate Angela and Hodgins.
Please save me. My God. Anyway, what does our listener have to say?
She had Aliens in a Spaceship as one of her favorite episodes, watching what Brian and Hodgins had gone through. And she also thought that Booth choking the dude out was super hot. I agree. Completely agree with you, Kristen.
Yes.
Excellent point. She also liked Women in the Sand, which was one of your top ones as well. She agreed with us that Tony and Roxy are looking hot as hell together. Yes. Mainly Tony looking super sexy when he boxed, and Roxy running over to hug Tony. Also agree. I love those personas. Like those, I just love that. I hope they bring that back.
Oh, as if they're not going to go undercover and do shit like that and wear costumes. Of course they're going to do that. Of course they're going to do that.
For fun.
100%.
Do you want to carry on or do you want me to keep going?
Kristen goes on to share that she enjoyed, or she said, Boy in the Shroud made her cry. The ending made her cry. Like the image of Brennan standing there with Kelly, having to watch her brother being taken away, and Brennan obviously relating to Kelly having gone through the foster system. It's just really, really sad. But then Bones saying to Cam, and this is why I got that question wrong earlier, because he says a similar thing that Angela said. Because Booth says to Cam, apologies, that I'm with Bones Cam all the way. Don't doubt it for a second. That's like a really amazing thing that he said. And then Blonde in the game, she mentioned this pig situation. Why? I'm very confused about why that conversation happened at all. Like, when did they talk about her having a pet pig?
I don't know. I know that he gives her that little pig thing, like the little pig. But I don't know. I found it kind of weird, especially since the person who murdered her mother was a pig farmer.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why. They've had this ongoing conversation off screen that we're not privy to. But him giving her this pet pig, like this little toy, and then trying to make her feel better about having, taken someone's life in the moment is another thing that Kristen really liked. Well, what's another one? Oh, God, this is great.
She loved the pageant episode Girl with a Curl, because Booth is supposed to be dating Cam, but instead he is, all caps, hot hunky man, is flirting with his gorgeous partner and chooses to stay and order Thai food rather than go with Cam for that night. Which, if a guy does that to you, people, listeners, like, no, that is a red flag. So
instead of
anyway,
what do you mean? From Cam's perspective,
though.
Like break it off. Yeah.
From Cam's perspective, break it off.
I agree.
Like, no, he's into someone else.
And then, of course, a lot of the things that we already talked about. The guy, the bro hug at the end of the Headless Witch in the Woods. The one at the end of, was it Judas on a Pole, where he touches her chin and says there's more than one kind of family. And then there's that other thing he says, and she writes it in here, everything happens eventually. And that was that the one when Sully drove away on his boat?
Yeah, I think so. And he's saying, "Don't worry, everything happens eventually."
And they're walking away,
like when it's
down
meant to
the
happen.
dock, and he's got his arm around her, and they're gonna go for breakfast. And he says, "It's okay, everything happens eventually." Yeah, that was pretty wild.
That's insane. If I'm Sully, I'm looking back at that. I'm going, okay, yeah, probably shouldn't have named my boat Temperance. I think she had one foot out the door the whole time we were dating. Maybe they're like canoodling on the way back, leaving Sully sailing away.
What else is she mentioning here? What's this weird back thing?
I'm not sure, but Kristen really loved when they were astronauts, which we talked about as well. A lot of the things that we like, Kristen also likes. So we appreciate that. Thanks for reaching out, Kristen. Okay, I guess I have to say this one because you won't be able to stomach it. But Hodgins and the shrimp proposal that Angela did for him. It was fantastic. Well, Angela is the one who proposed, but he was trying to do the shrimp anyway. But it was super cute.
So cute.
And then Booth in Brennan's apartment and cooking mac and cheese, which I had mentioned as a standout moment. Kristen agreed with that. And obviously them standing at the altar and the hug that prevented Angela from coming to the altar, which was hilarious when she is trying to get married and they're just hugging about her father being arrested.
Yes. That moment was so very weird to me, but I mean, everybody loves that moment. And I'm like, I think it's very strange, like that they're insinuating all this stuff about Booth and Brennan in this moment. I just thought it was very sort of thrown in. But she also mentioned, remember when they were sitting at the Royal Diner singing at each other, that song that we were trying to find?
Yeah.
Keep on Trying.
Yes. That song.
Yeah.
Yeah. from her father and
That
her
was weird.
past. But yes.
Sorry, Kristen.
Very.
I'm a curmudgeon. Oh my God, you're so far away now. What's going on?
Yeah, it says my battery
Oh
saver
my
is on now. I didn't plug my computer in.
Well, what do you
Oops.
think? I think that's lucky then. We're at the end of our show.
We're at the
Anyway,
end.
thank you everybody for listening. You can feel free to message us. We read all our messages. I can read all your emails. Feel free to send us messages. We'd love to hear from you. You can also rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple. We're also on YouTube, so check us out there. Every little bit helps. I'm also going to plug our Instagram. The Squidcast Instagram is pretty great. I curate it myself. I do all this stuff myself.
It is awesome. Go and take a look at all this content that Kelly creates. That makes me laugh my butt off.
Some of the stuff makes me laugh too. Like I love looking back at it and just like laughing about all the stupid stuff that we bring up. It's really, really hilarious. So yeah, check us out on all those platforms. We really appreciate everyone listening. I'm excited about season 3. I'm glad season 2 is over. I felt like it was sort of long and interminable and not very good. And just like, oh my God, it felt so long.
It did drag on a bit. We've already started watching season 3 and we can tell you it's very exciting. So something to look forward to.
We have started watching season 3 and it's super, what's the word I'm looking for? It's splashy. I feel like it's splashy.
Engaging.
It's a little bit, they got some money. They have some like brighter lights. They're got better makeup and they're doing all kinds of things. So it's really, really fun. And it's fun to do this with you, Brittany. I had so much fun.
You as well. It's awesome. We're getting to know each other over these last couple of years doing the podcast. It's very exciting.
We're almost friends.
And we like to agree to disagree.
We almost
we are
decided
friends.
to be friends now.
I already asked you for your friendship.
I'm just teasing you, of course. I'm ready, willing, and able. I'm actually a pretty good friend. I'm a
fantastic
pretty good friend.
Very good friend. She's a very good friend. She brought me food when I had just had my baby, and I will never forget that. First of all, the food was delicious, and second of all, she brought it.
You can
and that
always
was
count
very
on
awesome.
me to bring food. It's guaranteed. All right. Well, that note, I hope you'll join us for our recaps of season 3, which are coming up. And I'm so glad to be going on this journey with you all. And I appreciate your listening to this episode of
Squidcast.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Squidcast with me, Kelly Booth, and your new friend, Brittany Elsner. The Bones theme is performed by The Crystal Method. They can be found on Instagram and YouTube at The Crystal Method and at thecrystalmethod.com. Intro and outro music is by Twisterium at Pixabay. Cover art was done by Irena Dolenc-Stajan. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Squintcast. Email us at squintcastpodcast@gmail.com. You can find me at fab_empire_ on Instagram and TikTok. Brittany is at Brittany81523 on Instagram. See you next time.